Welcome to Basketball Mechanics with Coach Greg. This video is lesson 2 in my series on footwork where I explain how to do a hook shot, which is a highly effective but neglected offensive tool in the sport. The format of the video has me coaching a beginner named Edgar through 5 mechanic steps and 5 drills. I can break down a hook shot into 4 parts. Step 1, Step 2, Step 3, and Step 4. Step 1 starts in a wide stance. Then trap your dribble with both hands on your right pocket, and at the same time, bring your feet closer together. Step 2 brings the ball to your right shoulder and your vision up to the basket. Step 3 has your left hand leave the ball and become a shield with the left arm straight up. The ball is held only by my right hand, still behind my ear. Step 4, I jump into a 90-degree twist. As I jump, I push up with my arm and flick my wrist forward like a normal shot. After I teach students the 4 steps, their first attempts look robotic, but over time their steps will blend together seamlessly. Eventually, their hook shot will look fluid. Step 1 starts in a wide squat stance with a ghost dribble. Then I want you to bring your hands together into a clap on your right pocket. Before you do this, both of your springs are compressed, your knees are bent, and your waist is bent, with your shoulders leaning forward. So as you clap, your legs come close together, but you remain low with both springs compressed and ready for a jump. Step 2 holds my clap together in what I call prayer hands when doing ghost ball practice. My prayer hands rise from my pocket to my shoulder, and my vision down on the court also rises up to the basket. As I do this, my knees remain bent, but my shoulders do rise a little, and I have a slant as I lean back a little. Step 3 is learning to hold the ball in your shooting hand only, as your non-dominant hand leaves contact with the ball and rises up to shield your hook shot. In general, the ball should be held behind your ear around head height. Step 3, or the Greek statue pose, is the beginning of your jump twist of Step 4. But we are breaking down the hook shot to build ideal form, so no jumping yet. Step 4 is the jump into a 90-degree twist and has been the most common error for beginners with the hook shot. A beginner's untrained instinct is to twist first and jump second. Before the jump, your feet should point to the sideline, and after the jump, your feet should point to the baseline or basket. As you begin your hook shot attempts, position yourself in the center of the key. Your feet are in a wide squat stance. They point towards the sideline, and the outside foot furthest from the basket aligns with the first hash mark. Start with bringing your outside foot towards the inside foot for a slightly closer hook shot. After you get comfortable with executing a hook shot, practice by moving the inside foot towards the outside foot for a slightly farther back hook shot. I also want your shoulders aligned to the side of the box above the basket. So, when you jump into your twist for your hook shot, your arm should be centered on the rim. Starting your hook shot from this position will have you only pushing the ball straight forward on the shot. During Step 3, position the ball over your bicep, just off your shoulder. Some beginners pull the ball almost behind their head, which makes for an awkward shot motion. Edgar's attempts with Mechanic Step 1 have good synchronization. He traps the ball as he brings his wide stance to a narrow stance. He is pulling his inside foot back to the outside foot in a space creation stance change, and both directions are useful to practice. I stop to tell him that he's looking straight down too much, and that his vision should be on the court in front of him a little bit. On step 2, as Edgar brings his prayer hands up to his shoulder and his vision up to the basket, he stands up too much. I tell him he needs to keep his knees bent. In this pose, with his vision on the basket, the slight slant of his shoulders that dip away from the basket appear. With the ghost ball, Edgar then executes steps 3 and 4, and it looks okay. He may be jumping forward a bit too much, which makes him land in a stagger stance with the right foot forward. I tell him to jump up more than forward. He may be over twisting on the jump. Now with a ball, Edgar forgets to narrow his stance with his trap. After fixing that, Edgar does the most common mistake of beginners learning hook shots. He twists and then he jumps. This is a twist to shoot a normal shot. And again. That is more of a jump into a shot, which is better. Still a twist into the jump. I come over to make some form adjustments. I want Edgar to keep that ball behind his ear with only his right hand, as his left hand moves straight up as a shield. Then, I have him twist first, like he has been, and show him how that brings the ball to the defender to be easily blocked. While the ball is behind his ear, it is protected, and he needs to lift his arm up from that starting position as he jumps. Learning proper form for a hook shot will take time. A hook shot is as different mechanically as a layup is from a normal shot. It will take a significant amount of time and practice to become comfortable. I placed a yellow cone for Edgar to focus his vision on during the 3 dribbles before the trap. Without a target, a beginner's vision tends to drop down to their feet. Another coaching timeout is needed. I want Edgar to raise his elbow up as he jumps up, before any twisting toward the basket. The ball should be above head height as he begins to twist, and Edgar needs to flick his hand up and forward as his arm almost gets straight. The next 7 attempts now actually look like hook shot attempts, and not a twist into a normal shot attempt. Now Edgar is practicing proper form with these hook shots, and these attempts can be used as a foundation for eventual mastery. Sometimes the shooting motion of a hook shot is so awkward feeling to the student that a stationary mechanic step is helpful. My feet remain pointed to the sideline. I hold the ball in a step 3 position, the Greek statue pose. Then, without jumping, I twist a little and shoot. Unfortunately, this step does remove the vertical arm lift component of the hook shot, but I go to this step if I see the student really struggling with some of the shooting motions of a hook shot. Some more form correction. And I tell Edgar an important limitation on the offhand shield. The shielding arm needs to be straight up and not forward into the defender's space. You especially cannot swing your shield arm across to swipe away any defender's arms that may be trying to block your shot. Sweeping your arm to clear out any shot blocker's arms is an offensive foul, like a charge where you run into a defender and knock them over. Again, there are a lot of new mechanics to get comfortable with on a hook shot. How far back from the basket should Edgar hold the ball? How far off his shoulder towards the camera should he hold the ball? How high or low is the release point from your hand? Jumping into the twist, and probably a lot more. But try to remember practice and patience. And I even have Edgar do a few more ghost ball repetitions to check on his overall form. For bank hook shots, I want you to align yourself to the basket at a 45-degree angle. Not a 0-degree angle that is parallel to the baseline, and not a 90-degree angle that is parallel to the key line. Start with a wide squat stance, level vision straight ahead, go through the 4 steps, and aim for the corner of the box above the basket. Edgar's vision is straight down and should be more up, and he steps away instead of stepping towards the inside foot. Edgar does not need to bring his feet so close that they touch. That is too close. He needs to leave at least 1 shoe width of space in between his feet. And his position tends to wander a little, and he gets too close and underneath the backboard and basket. His old habit of twisting and then jumping has come back. A little change of position like this can reveal if new habits have been truly formed or are quickly forgotten in a new setting. Better form, but not a full arm extension on the shot. I call this a flick, and not a full hook shot arm stroke. Even better form, and that results in Edgar's first hook shot bank. Another twist, then jump shot error. Best form yet, and another made basket. In drill 3, I go from step 1 to 2 quickly, and then back to 1 to compress my springs again. This is called a pump fake, and it is done to get a defender to jump. As they come down from their jump, then you rise up again and do your actual hook shot. Edgar brings the ball up far too high and twists towards the basket, which exposes the ball to a block or strip. I explained to Edgar that an effective pump fake for a hook only needs 3 things. 1, the ball rises to your shoulder. 2, your eyes look at the basket. And 3, your springs rise up with the ball. Edgar is unfamiliar with bank shots and the ideal angles for shooting them. His position near the basket wanders by 1 to 2 feet, which can put his shot attempts at a difficult angle for a bank off the backboard. I remind him of the 45-degree angle and that his outside foot should be at block distance along that angle. This will set him up for an easier bank shot. This last attempt has decent form. Once you get comfortable with a hook shot, which has you jumping straight up, you can begin to lean back and jump up and away from the basket with a fade. This adds another component of separation from your defender and makes the hook shot even harder to block. Beginner's luck with Edgar's first attempt, and I would not have him practice the lean back jump until he gets consistent with a normal straight up hook. Drill 5 shows how I move students back in small incremental steps when trying to push the limits of their hook shot range. We start with Edgar's outside foot on first hash, then move so his inside foot is on first hash. Then his outside foot is on second hash, and we finish with the inside foot on second hash. Most hook shots are done at this distance and closer. Thank you for watching Lesson 2 on hook shots in my series on footwork. Up next is Lesson 3 on how to do a reverse pivot fadeaway shot. In Lesson 4, we add fakes and pivot moves to both hook shots and reverse pivot fadeaway shots. If anything in this video has helped you learn or coach basketball, please like the video and consider subscribing to my channel. Doing this increases the chance that somebody else may see these videos and help them on their journey in learning this sport.